All right, question of the week this week. What is the absolute best day to go to Disney World? What's up, guys? It's Ken from the Disney Movie Review. And this week, I found out that the Super Bowl Sunday, is probably the best day to go to Disney World. I wasn't very interested in the game this year. And so I was browsing around on the internet and looking at different ride wait times. And oh my gosh, everything was down to like a 15, 20-minute wait. So if you ever want to go to Disney World, Super Bowl Sunday is the day to do it. But I am glad that I tuned into the Super Bowl because, of course, I got to see that Solo trailer, one of the first things that we saw in there. We're going to talk about this weekend, that trailer, and whether or not people will give the new Han Solo a chance. We're already seeing some articles about Alden come out saying, even though he didn't really do much in the trailer, he's no Harrison Ford. But we have to wait and see. We have to give him a chance, and it'll be interesting to talk about that. Also, of course, we saw Avengers Infinity War. That trailer actually dominated social media. It dominated Facebook views. It won the social conversation according to ComScore, and they're tracking for it. So it'll be really interesting to see how Avengers Infinity War plays out. My bet is that it is the highest grossing movie of the year. I don't see anything that could possibly touch it, even just now as we're looking at Black Panther. Of course, Black Panther is supposed to do very well, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about around Avengers Infinity War. Also, Disney reported their numbers that we talked about in the last episode. Of course, we talked about a lot of stuff in the last episode, but one of the things, will the studio be able to hold its own? Looks like the studio was eking out a victory. I mean, it was flat this year. Star Wars, The Last Jedi didn't do quite as well as analysts expected. Thor and Coco did well, but not as well as they needed to do to necessarily push a growth there. So, the revenues for the studios was flat, but Disney also came out and said that their new ESPN service is going to be $4.99 per month. $4.99 per month. I was like, man, Disney, you don't know what you have here. And then I read the fine print that said you still have to have a traditional or non-traditional subscription to ESPN in order to get access to this ESPN Plus service. And again, they're still not putting SportsCenter or anything like that on it. So are they setting themselves up to fail? Maybe, maybe not. But with such a low price point, I'm not so sure that it's going to be a big issue. But I also don't think it's going to be a huge disruptor. It still points me towards 2019 when they're going to launch their own streaming service. Of course, last week we also talked about Black Panther and some people wanting to shut down Black Panther, and I just kind of went on my rant going back to the thing of, guys, we're human beings first, okay? Like, look at a movie as the content of the movie, not necessarily who you think should or should not be in that movie. Try to see things in context, and don't let a single number on a single website determine your entertainment choices. It's really silly when you do it that way. We also talked about that Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer. Got into a lot of stuff. All of that can be found on thedisneymoviereview.com. That is thedisneymoviereview.com. We're going to talk about all the stuff we just talked about this week when we do the show, also including the new Star Wars series that is not going to be a part of the new trilogy. It's also not going to be a part of the Star Wars, Skywalker saga. It's going to be something entirely different, and we're going to talk about that this week on the Disney Movie Review. So, for now, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you on Monday.